Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm heading to another album review. I feel I've been trying my best to hit on some albums that have an anniversary this year, and I want to try to continue doing that on the channel. Today I'm looking at another album that has an anniversary this year, and it is Divide by Ed Sheeran. I know its 5th anniversary was earlier this year, half a year ago, but I can still celebrate it this year since it turned 5, right? Am I wrong? Well, I'm gonna do it anyway, whether you guys like it or not, as long as I cover albums I want to do, and, what keeps me happy, keeps me going and doing this sort of thing, for you guys to watch, for you guys to enjoy. Anyways, I guess I'll hop into the album and see what I have to say about 5 years later. This is the 3rd studio album by the English singer-songwriter that was released on March 3rd, 2017, and again celebrating its 5th anniversary back in March, so a little over 9 months from the time of this recording, it celebrated its 5th anniversary. And today I'll be covering the standard edition of the album. I might cover the deluxe edition sometime in the future, not sure when, but today I'll just be looking at the standard edition of the album, and the standard edition has a runtime of about 46 minutes and contains 5 singles. They are Castle on the Hill, Shape of You, Galway Girl, Perfect, and Happier. This album was produced by Benny Blanco, Labyrinth, and Sheeran himself. As I do enjoy listening to Ed Sheeran, I feel mixed about this album, even though this was really my first full listen to this album. I've heard a couple of tracks off this album before I listened to the whole album, and made my decision of what I want to say about the album. I'm just kind of mixed about this album. It does have some great tracks, but I feel there are moments on here that aren't his best, and I feel he has had better tracks up to this point of his career. When Divide was released, I feel he has had better tracks on Plus and Multiply, and I personally do enjoy his albums Plus and Multiply. I've already covered Plus here on the channel, but I might go revisit that album again in the future. Personally, my favorite album of his. Honestly, I feel his style has changed a little bit here on his 3rd album, but he still manages to get out some tracks that I personally do enjoy. Now, let's go ahead and hop into the tracks. We start off the album with Eraser. I feel this is an alright track. It brings back the style from his previous 2 albums of the acoustic guitar, as well as rapping and singing on the track. I feel the raps are somewhat decent here, as he talks about what it's like to be well known and not having a so-called normal life like everyone else in the world has. I don't mind Castle on the Hill. I'd say it's one of my favorite tracks on the album. I feel it's a decent story of kids growing up and going through life, as well as having memories of those times and places you used to go, you used to hang out and mess around, you used to have fun. I feel Ed also has some decent vocals on this track. After 5.5 years, I still feel like I'm not the biggest fan of Shape of You. I personally don't hate this track, but I feel it has to more with its lyrics and in a way about, picking someone up at a bar and just saying how they look, you like their features, and, that whole thing. On the other hand, I still feel Perfect is a perfect track, or, at least a decent track. I love its sound and lyrics. I love how it's about saying how good someone looks, and it's without expecting it at that moment. I feel Happier is an underrated track. I do enjoy this track. I love the acoustic guitar on here, as it appears again on this album, appears a couple of times throughout this whole album, and I personally do enjoy this style of track. I feel it's about seeing someone you used to date, or maybe a friend who is happier with someone else than with you. You've made some mistakes and wish you still had them there with you. You wish you could make up to them and hope that everything will be okay. Lastly, I'm going to close us off with Supermarket Flowers. This is a sad track that ends the album off for us. It is dedicated to his late grandmother, who I believe passed away around this time. It is supposed to be through the standpoint of his mom. I feel it is a touching track that I feel everyone knows the feeling of, as at some point we all have lost someone we love, whether it be a friend, family member, or even a pet. My favorite tracks include Perfect, Happier, and Castle on Hill. Today, I'll be giving this album a 3.5 out of 5. I don't think it's a bad album, but I don't think it's one of his best albums to date. Again, there are some tracks that I do enjoy on here and will still listen to, but I believe he was trying to go for some sort of style change here on the third album, which is why at some points I could care less about some of the tracks on this album. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. On Friday, I'll be looking at the final album I want to cover that I own on CD. That is this album right here, House of Music by Tony.